Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adam Cleary, it's Adam Wilborn, and it is our unfortunate pleasure to tell you that yet again it is another very grim night in WWE. There has been a series of layoffs both on the main roster and in NXT across all their brands, and Adam Wilborn is going to tell you right now the names that are involved.
Yes. Yeah, basically it is a series of, I think, 9 releases, mainly across...
9 releases so far.
So far, yeah, at the time of recording. We thought we'd have a lovely evening together.
We were trying to have a nice time, weren't we? We were trying to have a nice time.
Indeed, but 9 releases from NXT, featuring age you may well know, you may well not. Basically, there is 9 people who have been released. All of a sudden, thanks to Sean Rossap of Fightful Select, Fightful.com, who revealed all this. Dakota Kai, I suppose, is the
That's
headline
the headline
name,
one. That's the big one.
Who's been released, which is astonishing to Clary and I. We'll sort of delve into it as we get into it. Dakota Kai has been released. Malcom Bivens, of course, of Diamond Mine, has been released. Harland, the Parker Boudreaux, which is astonishing, to be perfectly honest, because he was meant to be allegedly the future Brock Lesnar of WWE. Harland, associated with Joe Gacy, has been released. Persia Pirotta has been released, which is again another amazing release, considering association with Indy Hartwell and what you've seen with that. Then we also have Sanjana George, Draco Anthony, who's seemingly been involved in NXT 2.0 storylines recently, Mila Milani, Paige Prinzivalli, and Raylan Divine. I have all nine names written down, but I suppose... Yeah, the sort of headline news is yet again more WWE releases and Dakota Kai being the head of that class.
The headline is obviously Dakota Kai and Malcom Bivens, but the main headline is that WWE have yet again chosen to do a big night of a group of releases. Some of which, fair enough, they're not doing anything major, but the other ones are on television and they've got storylines and it feels kind of out of nowhere. But again, to do a big release all at once for no conceivable reason without any kind of explanation.
No, exactly.
We've been here before. We've been here several times over the last couple of years. We should not be surprised by it, but at the same time, these are people who are now out of work. These are people who have been chasing their dream in the biggest company on earth, and now, for whatever reason,
in terms of main roster people, in terms of people we anticipated who would go to the main roster, we've got Raquel Rodriguez, of course, making her debut on SmackDown literally in a few hours' time here in the UK. Yeah. And Dakota Kai, her tag team partner, who is more experienced, who is arguably someone who could easily transition into the main roster. She has just been dropped like that, and it is...
We should stress at this time we don't know who's asked for their release, who has been gesturing for a release, who they just simply want to get rid of. As it always happens, this kind of thing comes out in the wash.
Exactly.
Over the weeks and months that transpire afterwards. We don't know what the situations are with any of these people, but to get a major series of releases, as we say, it's 9 right now. We don't know how many it's going to be over the course of the night. By the time this video goes out, it might be 10, 12, whatever. It's always shocking to hear, and it's always disappointing to hear. Given the talent on that list.
Oh, yeah, I mean, literally, we aren't going to go into too much detail with everyone involved in this, but Dakota Kai is just a primary example. He's someone who I've consistently said, and a lot of us have consistently said, is someone who is ready for the main roster for many years in NXT, ahead of...
And she's outgrown it in some respects.
Oh, absolutely. And you thought, okay, well, she's easily to be brought up, and they've brought up younger talent, the likes of Shotzi Blackheart, the likes of Raquel Gonzalez, now Raquel Rodriguez, onto the main roster. They brought her up ahead of Dakota Kai, and you thought, okay, it's only a matter of time, and yet Dakota Kai has been released. For me, if I was in charge of AEW, for example, she would be the first person I would be contacting in terms of these releases. But it is one of those things where WWE just releases a swathe of talent. Persia Pirotta also being released. She's been heavily featured in storylines, of course, a lot recently with him in WWE.
Keep talking, I'm going to check, because we've been on for 4 minutes now. I'm going to check to see if anyone else has got it.
Yes, probably a good idea. And also, Harland is someone who's been heavily featured in NXT. But, Parker Boudreaux is someone who... we've reported on...
lost their jobs. Can you not do the funny voice?
Granted, but Parker Boudreaux is a perfect example of this. He is someone who we've talked about for years.
Dexter Lumis.
No! What?
According to Sean Rossap 5 minutes ago, Dexter Lumis has also been released from his NXT contract.
This is literally breaking news.
This is why I
As we are shooting the video.
Dexter Lumis has gone as well. Someone who's been a major part of the transition from normal, good NXT to NXT, do the voice, Dexter Lumis has been a major. Dexter Lumis is gone. Wow. Dexter
You
Lumis
keep
is
refreshing
gone.
that feed. I will talk about the latest releases as and when they come in. Harland is a perfect example. Parker Boudreaux is someone.
Dexter Lumis.
Dexter Lumis is someone who I presume, what is it, Samuel Shaw, I think it was his name in Impact Wrestling, for example. He was someone who you anticipated was just sort of being refreshed in NXT. He's been brought up to the main roster. Parker Boudreaux is, as I said, someone who they thought could be the next Brock Lesnar, basically. And now,
sorry, Dexter Lumis.
And now he is
Dexter
someone who's
Lumis
been released.
floored
He's
me.
been closely associated, of course, with Joe Gacy down in NXT. Malcolm Bivens is one that's really hit me hard, if I'm perfectly honest.
Like, of course, Malcom Bivens is the U of NXT. Yes.
Oh,
I understand where
100%.
that's
He is the mouthpiece of Diamond Mine, of course, and he has been released. Look, a few of these people I'm upset that they've been released by WWE.
Sorry, I can't believe I'm having to scan the names as you're doing this.
Yeah, shout out to Sean Mossat, by the way. But someone like Malcolm Bivens is someone, along with Dakota, that I'm sort of not concerned about in terms of the fact that they are so talented that you would anticipate they will be absolutely fine. And yet, why on earth would WWE release someone like Malcolm Bivens?
Boris Becker. Sorry, I've read the wrong thing. Sorry, keep going.
But Malcolm Bivens is someone who is such a brilliant mouthpiece. He's been the reason why Diamond Mine have been doing what they have in NXT 2.0, and now basically I think Diamond Mine is now just Roderick Strong.
I don't know why you're asking me that.
It's just Roderick Strong, basically. But yeah, a swathe of WWE releases have come in. Just to run through that list once more time. Dakota,
Sorry, I'm
Harland,
still reading from Dexter Lumis.
Persia Pirotta, Sanjana George, Draco Anthony, who's someone they clearly had big plans for, Milana Milani, Paige Prince-Ivali, Raylan Devine, and as you mentioned,
Dexter Lumis.
Dexter Lumis has been released by WWE. We will bring you.
As it stands, there's nothing more at the minute. We should probably wrap up here. I think we'll be
all the latest as we get it. We will bring you all the latest details on that. I'm sure that the guys will bring you the news tomorrow morning here in the UK. We thought we could have a quiet night at the pub together.
We were just trying to have a nice night out, weren't we? We were trying to have a nice
exactly.
night out, and we've heard yet another story of WWE doing a massive night of releases. Some of the names, yeah, fair enough, they don't surprise you. Your Dakota Kai's, your Dexter Lumis, your Malcolm Bivens are shocking people you can build a company around.
Exactly.
And yet they are gone. But it feels very hollow to say this, but don't forget to do the whole thing, like, share, subscribe. We'll have more news as it comes. The guys are in over tomorrow. Phil, I think, as well.
Yeah,
they'll have, I imagine, probably more
Gareth,
names.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll have more names tomorrow. But
all the fallout from this year and the
all the fallout hours. Podcast video.
Let us know your thoughts on where we go from here with these releases with WWE. Exactly. We thought, having got through the traditional date that WWE did these releases, that we'd be all right to go and have a few drinks.
Yeah,
together.
just have a nice Friday
night.
So
apologise if this was just a bit of a ramshackle video, but it is what it is. WWE yet again releasing a swathe of talent. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe as always. But my thanks, Adam Cleary. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks to Emil Franchi for holding the camera for the whole video, by the way.
And we will see you soon.